stop asking logical questions. Where are you from? What do you do? Where'd you grow up? Instead, ask positive emotional questions. What's one of your favorite memories from childhood? What's the most comfortable thing you've ever sat in? What's the best meal you've ever had? What was the best party you ever went to in college? When was the last time your boss praised you? In order to answer these questions, people are going to have to think and feel happy thoughts. And if you're the type of person that makes other people feel happy when they're around you, you're the type of person that people are going to search out to be around because you make them happy.
Welcome to YourBrilliance.com. I'm your host, Amy Waterman. Do you feel like dating is not worth it anymore? It's just not fun. And in fact, it's a complete waste of time because you never meet anyone good. It just makes you feel bad about yourself and you have more dating horror stories than your friend have times to hear. If so, then you need to meet Hunt Ethridge. Hunt is an award-winning dating and relationship expert who reconnects women with fun. With over a decade of experience in helping people become the best, most dateable version of themselves, Hunt's advice has been featured in CNN, ABC, NBC, The Wall Street Journal, and The New York Times. He's founded 3 dating companies, including the International Dating Coach Association, which educates and certifies dating coaches across the globe. Welcome, Hunt.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
So I want to know, we have to ask this question, what inspired you to start coaching singles?
Honestly, my therapist was the one that propelled me into this. I was seeing her like 13, 14 years ago for various and sundries, and I'll never forget what she said. She said, the men that come in here are broken and I can fix them, but the thing that they want the most is to have a woman by their side, and I can't give them that. You know more about this than anyone I've ever met. You need to figure out a way to monetize this, and the minute you do, I'll refer all of my patients to you.
Wow.
So having 3 such resounding slaps on the back from a female psychotherapist was, powerful. So at least that's what started the initial, the research. Is it something that's needed? Is it necessary? Can I do it? Do I know more? Is it teachable? How do you break it down? Is it a science? Is it an art? What is it? So that's at least what started the whole thing going.
And what is fantastic is you are one of those rare dating coaches who is a husband and a dad, and you got there through your own singles journey.
Yeah. I started this process just a little bit before I met my now wife. So not only, she was actually helping me hand out my first flyers at at an arts and music festival. So she's been really supportive the whole time and has been on board the whole time. And, I get a lot of naysayers like, is your wife okay with this? She's been with me the whole time. She helped build it, so to speak. So I also do like that being married, I call it proof of concept, that I sort of do know what I'm talking about to a degree. And, I'm not trying to single out anyone that is not. I'm not saying because you are not, does not. But I think that being with someone, especially as a man, having a wife and a daughter, helps, I guess, give me more street cred for the type of information or coaching that I give.
Yes. So I have to ask you the question then, how does being the dad to a daughter change the way you look at dating advice?
It's basically known that there's no pressure at all, that I'm just going to be the template for all of her future relationships for the rest of her life, whether it's running away from it or trying to emulate it. So, there is that element to it, but I really hope that, one, she can see what men should be like. If I flatter myself, and to start to have an open lines of communication, both for self, for parents, for interpersonal relationships, and having a father whose job it is to communicate, I hope will set a really good foundation for her.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So,
and I've also realized that I have to be okay with being a hypocrite.
Oh, darn it. You have to say one thing and do something else sometimes, huh?
It's yes, I will give some people certain advice and withhold it from there at different times and things like that. But there's certain things I don't want to know about what she does, but I hope she does it.
Yes. Yes. So you are a coach for both men and women. How do you think men's and women's needs differ when it comes to dating advice?
It's so different. It's getting from point A to point B. There's an infinite amount of ways to get there. Anyway, different ways that you can get there. So A and B is still the same for men and women, but the way that you get there is so different. At its simplest, and please understand, I'm overgeneralizing, and specific cases are going to be specific cases, but for men, the prime motivation is how do I learn to approach someone with confidence, self-assurance, things like that. Whereas for a woman, it's almost the opposite in how do I become the most approachable type of person that encourages men to approach me and I guess say rewards them for doing it correctly.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of women, most of my clients are successful, powerful, really beautiful women. And I think that they've spent a lot of their life learning how to push people away. And at a certain point when they want to bring them in, did not develop those skills necessarily, which is totally understandable. So it's trying to, bring that sense of approachability, which is, as you mentioned earlier, was where fun comes into it again.
Okay, so let's talk about the fun piece, because here's the thing. I have talked to so many women over the past couple weeks even, and they all say one thing, I tried the online dating thing, I tried this, and I just met these guys, and it was just a mess. I don't want to do this. I've got my own life. I might as well hang out with my girlfriends because that dating stuff is just a waste of my time. How can we bring any sort of sense of fun into that?
Dude, first off, I get it. I hear it from my female clients too. It's rough out there, so to speak. And living in New York City, a lot of the women, aside from the normal life, have a bit of a New York City chip on their shoulder, and they can be jaded, bitter, and cynical when it comes to dating. And one of the things I teach both men and women is, what is dating supposed to be? It is supposed to be fun. That doesn't mean it is fun, but it is supposed to be fun. This is supposed to be an enjoyable experience. But it feels like a second job sometimes, where you have to go home and check your emails and make sure you're responding to people and do winks and pokes and nudges and then going out on dates and go this way and go that way, make sure I'm open and available. And it can be absolutely exhausting. I totally get that. But basically, the first biggest mental switch is the goal is not to get a man. The goal is not to get more dates. If you make the goal a man, you're putting it above you, which puts it on a pedestal, which is not where you want that goal to be. Because if that guy turns around and looks down, that's not the woman he wants to date. He's busy looking up at some other amazing woman. So the first biggest mental switch is turning yourself into the type of person that draws people to you. And I call it like becoming the prize, basically. And a lot of that has to do with enjoying yourself, enjoying life, being a person that you want to spend time with. We all have friends that are Debbie Downers, and we have friends that just you want to smack the crap out of them sometimes because they're always in a good mood. So we want to be that type of person that is bringing people up around us, that you make people good when they're around you. So they want to be around you in order to feel good. So not only are you flushing out some of that bad and jaded and cynical feelings and memories and replacing them with fun memories, when you have fun, your body language opens up, you get excited, you talk with your hands, your eyes light up, you smile. This is the type of person men want to date. So even if there's not somebody within that immediate group that you would like to date, all of them have friends and coworkers and siblings and exes, and that they would love to put you in contact. Dude, there's this amazing girl named Meredith in my woodworking class. She is so dynamic and interesting and fun to be around. You really need to meet her. So and then aside from all of that, you're at a party. Someone asks you, what'd you do this weekend? Like, I don't know. I watched some Netflix and pet my cat. They're going to go on to the next person. Whereas if you're like, well, I've been trying to suck the marrow out of life. And I took a sip and paint class. I met up with some new friends and tried a new hobby. Immediately, you're more interesting and vibrant and exciting than anyone else around you.
Okay, so let's talk about that busy woman who is so exhausted by the end of the week that her cat is her favorite person in the world because her cat doesn't judge her. Her cat gives her cuddles without needing sex, and she thinks about going out on a date. And that man is going to sit across from her and he's going to judge her. And he's going to think, oh, you're not what I expected, or you're not what I wanted. And she's thinking, okay, Hunt, you said this was supposed to be fun. How does she get past that mental block?
Don't do it. To be simply enough, I wouldn't want to sit across from someone and go through the dating interview. It's annoying. It's frustrating. It's all logic, no emotion. Socrates said, I can learn more from a man in an hour of play than in a lifetime of conversation. Just take these dinner dates and throw them out the window until at least the third date. Because one, they can last too long. Two, they can be expensive. And three, both the physicality, sitting directly across from someone squared up, it's bad. The way that it's set up, it just puts you into the mentality of a board meeting. And it's difficult for both parties to get away from that and to bring in positive and fun emotion in that. So I always suggest, and I know it's been like kind of beaten to death, but the activity date, like if you're going to go on a date, do something that you consider fun. That way, even if the date dude sucks, you're still doing something that you enjoy. So, just tell him, hey, I got this X thing that I saw that I want to do. Street fair, live music, cooking class, whatever it is. One, if he wants to come along with you, he's already passed the first hurdle, and second of all, if you're doing something that you enjoy, you're going to enjoy it, or be much, much more likely to enjoy the date if you're having fun, because you know what he's worried about? Is she having fun? Is she doing okay? Did I choose the right place? Is she happy? Is it too hot? Is it too cold? Is it taking too long? All the things that normal come along on first dates. If he looks at you and you're going, he knows, at least it allows him to relax. It allows him to be present, allows him to meet you, and not just the facade that we put up for, our first date interview.
Okay, so I have to ask you a question then. So what are men actually thinking on that first date? Because I know that really that first locking of eyes, some men are just like yes or no at that point. And if they think no, they're not even going to make an effort on that date. It's just going to never, ever get off the ground. But what if a man sees you and he thinks maybe? What is going through his mind on that date?
When he sees the maybe, it's like, okay, not dismissive. Well, first of all, I'm physically attracted to her, or at least enough that I want to see where this goes to. She didn't turn me off immediately. Men don't have a lot of disqualifiers when it really comes down to it. If I'm physically attracted to you, I'm going to look over a lot of things. Granted, there's still going to be deal breakers, but are you having fun? Are you present in the moment? Anytime, like, men think about the future just as much as women do, but women comment upon it more often, which makes the man feel that you're not enjoying right now. You're seeing what could be in the future. The man is thinking, like, are you having fun at this moment? All I'm worried about is this moment right now. So if he can see that you're into the moment and into them and not looking too far in the future, that's definitely going to put you towards the plus side. The twinkle in the eye, which kind of goes back to that fun. Like if you're just on your phone, like, yeah, I know this is the first time I've ever been to this restaurant before. It's soul crushing. Like, all right, then it's like, fine, I'm not even going to try because you're not even open to this. So if you aren't jaded and bitter and cynical, and you are trying to do things that are fun and trying to open yourself up to fun experiences, that's going to come across in the twinkle. And there's two things that work. One, risk versus reward. If you want to play small pots, you'll only win small pots. If you want to win everything, you've got to risk going all in. And you know what happens most of the time? You lose. But the times that you win make you forget all about that, and you will win the whole thing. And then the second thing that we have is something called fear of loss and fear of failure. Like if you sit across from a schlub, you're gonna be charismatic and fun because you don't care about the outcome. So you'll say risque things, you'll push the envelope, you'll, relax, body language, all of that stuff. But the minute George Clooney sits in front of you, all of that goes out the window, and you just want to do everything you can to impress him and not risk screwing anything up at all, which takes away all of that fun stuff, which would be what attracted the guy to you. So I think a little bit of irreverence, a little bit of being able to see that it's the you and not the dating mask that's up. And to that, it's being, tell an embarrassing story, offer to buy around, just little things that are just going to, just a little bit, make you stand out from the masses, if you will, the basics.
Because you're not worried about being judged at that point. You're just worrying about whether you're having a good time.
Yep, exactly. It's the only time I attract guys is when I actually have a boyfriend. Why is this? It's because you don't have any goals in any interaction. You don't have a fear of failure because you have something, so you will act however you want, and that's the type of person that men want to be with.
So talk to us about your coaching. So you are everywhere, right? You give interviews, you do writing, you're just everywhere, and you still have coaching for exclusive clients. Am I right?
Yeah, I have. Okay, so I have my own private practice, which is Hunt for Advice. And then because I've been in the industry as long as I have and have as much trust in the industry, and frankly, because there's, in my humble opinion, only one of me in the country, I am lucky enough to be the coach on record for 6 or 7 different matchmaking companies because they want their clients to obviously achieve the most that they can. So they bring me in to help polish them up. All of us, including myself, can use a little bit of polish. So it's my job to get them date ready, to get them to, I call it, creating positive emotional drama. How do you create that? How do you become the best version of yourself? How do you set the stage for chemistry to find you? All of those things. So I have clients all around the world that come from different companies. So I love the fact that I'm able to reach so many people of so many different demographics, all across the world.
Fantastic. And for those of you watching, you want to go check out Hunt's site, you want to get some more of his advice, we have a link for you. Just go to yourbrilliance.org/hunt. It's yourbrilliance.org/hunt. Hunt, thank you so much for coming on the show. And I wondered if you had any last message you'd like to leave our viewers with.
Thank you. It's great to have me. I'm just going to leave you with one quick tip that I think you'll find can affect your relationships with everyone in your life, not just romantic partners, more. Stop asking logical questions. Where are you from? What do you do? Where did you grow up? Instead, ask positive emotional questions. What's one of your favorite memories from childhood? What's the most comfortable thing you've ever sat in? What's the best meal you've ever had? What was the best party you ever went to in college? When was the last time your boss praised you? In order to answer these questions, people are going to have to think and feel happy thoughts. And if you're the type of person that makes other people feel happy when they're around you, you're the type of person that people are going to search out to be around because you make them happy.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Hunt. And thank you out there for watching. We hope to see you again soon. Until then, let your brilliance shine.